Hello and welcome to another video on YouTube channel of tutorialspedia.com. In this video tutorial, we are going to cover MuleSoft Async Scope, and we will see that how we can use Async Scope in Mule 4 to achieve fire and forget asynchronous processing. This video is part of a series of MuleSoft video tutorials where I'm covering different topics and different features and aspects related to Mule 4. Let's look into the details of the topics that we are going to cover in this video tutorial. First of all, we will have a high-level overview, a theoretical explanation of Mule 4 Async Scope. I will explain that how exactly Async Scope works, and then I'll shed a light on what is the usability of Async Scope and when we should look for this option whenever we are implementing our message flows. And then I will just take a simple use case and implement with the async scope, where we will be using a write file operation asynchronously. So before we proceed with the demonstration, let's have a look at theoretical concepts related to async scope. In Mule 4 or in any integration flows, whenever you are implementing, what happens is that we have multiple operations and we have many steps to perform in order to achieve the required business goals. Often we come across the situations where we have certain operations which can be considered in parallel or asynchronously, and we don't want that one particular operation should be waiting for the completion of a set of other operations to proceed. As an example, let's take some simple naive examples that you have some message flow where you are getting some data from the database, you are doing some operations in Salesforce, and then while you are processing, you also need to send an email and you also need to send some message to another external system. But you don't want that the main processing, which is involving the real business, should be impacted in terms of its performance or having any delay just because of these trivial additional tasks. So what you can do in this type of scenarios is that you can split some of the functionalities from your main flow and put them in async scope. And what will happen is that the processing will not be in synchronous fashion, rather it will be in asynchronous fashion. So what will happen is that once you will put some of the operations inside your async scope, then the main flow will continue to process and it will just fire and forget, which means that any activities or any operations which are part of the async scope will be processed, but those will be processed asynchronously. And the main flow will not be waiting for the completion of all the operations and activities in the async scope. And if we talk about async scope and what is the situation and what are the benefits associated with it. So if we talk about the situations where we should be using it, one of the example I just explained to you, and that those type of situations where you have certain operations which you can consider them independently and asynchronously, then you should go for async scope, because any of the time that is taken by these operations, if you keep everything in synchronous manner in the default approach, then what happens is that there is a dependency. So on, even if these are some of the operations which can be considered separately, if you put them straight in the synchronous sequential manner, then overall throughput will be impacted and the response time will also be impacted. So in this type of situations, you can always go with async scope. And when you use async scope, then what happens is that a copy of the message is passed to the async scope as well, and it is processed over there. But any changes, any of the actions that are performed in the async scope are not being returned back to the main scope, because main scope is processing its all the operations and the steps in it independently. But there is a slight difference when it's yeah, a mutable. Whenever we have a mutable payload, then there is a slight simple difference in that case. But in general, what happens is that you segregate your operations and you achieve a better throughput. And if we talk about async use implementation use case that I'm going to cover in this demonstration, so what I will do is that I will create a project in AnyPoint Studio in Mule 4, and we will have a main flow. And in the main flow, we will use async scope and certain file operations to write some data into the file. That one, just to demonstrate, for the demonstration purpose, I will put that and some additional loggers inside a async scope. And we will see that the main flow will continue to process independently and async flow will be processed independently. And it will not, the main flow will not be waiting for the completion of all the activities or all the operations within the async scope. So I hope that now the use case and the basic understanding about async scope is clear to you. Now we will jump into the demonstration and I will start implementing this use case. I have already created a project with the name Async Scope tutorial in AnyPoint Studio, and we are going to directly start implementing our use case. So for the startup or for the initiation of our message flow, I'm going to use HTTP receiver so that we are able to send a request from the browser or from any of the HTTP client. So let me add a listener, and this will create a new flow. And here I'm going to make the connector configurations. And here let's keep it on port 8081 with the HTTP. We will not make any changes. You can keep the same unless you have the same this port already in use. In that case, of course, you will go with another port which is available. In the path, I'm going to use slash async example. Okay, so this will be the path. So we will be hitting the services localhost colon 8081 slash async example. Nothing fancy, we will keep it like this. After that, I'm just going to put some logger. So this will be the first logger for our message flow, and here I will write something. The message for this logger will be logger before async scope. So this will be the first log activity for our message flow. After this, I'm going to add async scope. So we will add this async scope in our message flow, and now whatever I will add inside this async scope will be part of will be handled independently. Here you can see in the configuration of this async scope that we have max concurrency option also available if we want to specify how much maximum concurrent messages can be processed. Let's keep it as is. We are not going to make any changes. So now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to add another logger inside the async scope, and here I will write logger inside async scope. Why I'm adding these loggers? Just to show you, once I will be running this project, we will see the behavior of this message flow including the async scope based on the log messages in the console. Even before this logger, I'm going to add a file operator, write file operation. So I will just write some content to the file. For this purpose, we will have to add connector configuration. We can specify the working directory as well, but let's not do that here. I will specify the complete path over here. So in the path, I will click on plus button and I will just choose where I want the file. So in the test, I want to write the content to hello.txt. This is a file which is already created by me. So whatever content we will be writing will be written to this text file. All right. But what we are going to write into this file? So if you see here, we are writing the payload. So I just want to set the payload because we are not going to send anything in the payload. It will be a get request. So I just want to set a payload over here. And the value that I want for this payload is sample payload. Let me do one thing. I want to set this payload outside the async scope because we want to see the behavior that once we are writing the payload outside, after that we are writing this content while we are inside the async scope. And after this async, I just want to add another logger at the end, and this logger will be outside the async scope, and here I will write the message, and this message will be goodbye from Tutorialspedia. tutorial. So this will be the message at the end of this message flow. So far so simple. What we have done is that we have just created a simple message flow with a HTTP listener, which is going to be the initiator for this message flow, and then we have a logger, and we are setting the payload, and then we are calling we are going into inside the async, and inside the async scope we are doing the write operation to a file, and after that we are adding a logger, and once we go out of this async scope we are having another logger. So if we consider this without async scope in a sequential manner, what should happen? This log with the message log before async scope will be the first one. Then the payload should be set, and in the same scenario, in the sequential manner, this write operation should be performed, and then this logger which is inside the async scope, and then the last logger should be printing the message. But since we are using the async scope, so we are expecting that this async scope should be handled independently in asynchronous manner, and the main flow which is having logger set payload and this logger at the end, this should be printed even before that independently. So now let's run this project and observe the behavior. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to run the project in the Mule runtime. It will take some time, and once it is loaded, then we will be able to observe the results. Alright, so now we can see that the project has been deployed, and the status we can see from the console. Let me first just clear the console so that we see our print messages correctly. And now I'll go to the client. I will use the client which is just the browser. So let me close this and add a new one. And localhost 8081/async example, and I'll click enter, and then it should be getting some response. Okay, so if you see here, logger before async scope, goodbye from tutorialspedia. So this is the second one, and then we should have another one, which is the third one. So sample payload has been returned to the client, and if now we see all logger before async scope, so this is the first logger, and then we see that goodbye from tutorialspedia, which is at the end. So this means that the main flow has been processed, executed independently, and then we have logger inside async scope, which is from inside the async scope. So in this way we can see that async scope, any activities which are part of the async scope are being processed independently and asynchronously, and not part of the same sequential flow of the main flow. That's it from this tutorial about async scope. I hope that the information that has been conveyed to you through this tutorial will be helpful. And if you want to learn more about this and other topics related to Mule 4, you can always refer to this playlist, which contains various tutorials that I have uploaded. And of course, you can refer to official documentation on MuleSoft website as well, which has plenty of updated documentation available for you to understand further. If you like this video, please don't forget to press the like button and subscribe to the channel. And if you have any questions or any ambiguities, you can always write in the comment section. Thank you very much.